Men, how do you deal with astrology girlfriends? I had an astrology girlfriend in college who quit talking to me because she and a girlfriend buried a piece of paper with my name on it in the sand, and then she couldn't find it. That meant I wasn't the one for her. I have a firm belief that people don't believe in nonsense like that unless it gives them an excuse to do something they already wanted to do. Be the Myers-Briggs type and dictate a boyfriend. Remember, kids, MBTI is descriptive, not prescriptive. I give mine little rocks and glass bottles, and she scurries off happily for days on end. Would highly recommend. I too snagged my wife with diamonds and bottles of wine. Depends on how into it they are. If they just enjoy it, and it's not dictating their every decision and interaction, I'm fine with it. If they are only doing things based on the stars and it's a key part of their personality, or use this as an excuse for shitty behavior, I wouldn't be with them. But I guess you're asking how to deal with it. So say my current partner suddenly got heavily into it, I'd work around it as best I can. But it's hard to say, as she's not that kind of person at all. Run is how to deal with this issue. My wife is right into the astrology, numerology, magical woo-woo stuff. She sets crystals around the house and leaves salt in window frames to ward off evil spirits. She likes to sage the house every now and again and does tarot readings. I'm a skeptical critical thinker and an atheist who doesn't believe any of that nonsense. But apart from that, she is kind, loving, beautiful, and we love each other like crazy. Sometimes, if you just accept the person you love for what she is and not what you want her to be, you can make it work. I even let her do readings on me, which I don't mind, even though I know it's just pieces of cardboard. Oh, and the Reiki that turns into sex was awesome too. Haha. As a Libra, they kinda just assume I'm in the right, so it's kinda easy to deal with, even when you're wrong. Simply frame your decision as a means to find balance. Source: Libra with happy friends. As long as they don't expect me to partake, I don't care. My ex was into astrology, so I asked her, when there are twins born at the same time, why is one good and the other evil? It broke her brain, not even taking into consideration how stupid my question was to begin with. Augustine also brought up with that criticism about 1600 years ago. Why? In the life of twins, in their actions, the events that befall them, their professions, arts, honors, and other things pertaining to human life, as well as in their very deaths, is there often so great a difference that, as far as these things are concerned, many entire strangers are more like them than they are like each other, though separated at birth by the smallest interval of time, but at conception, generated by the same act, and at the same moment. If she's a caprice and don't trust her. Typical saggy Aquarius. One day every man has to choose between making jokes on astrology and sex. Time to become a born-again virgin, I guess. Be gentle, I'm a Virgo. It would never have a relationship with someone into space racism. IDK man, I play 40k and that's pretty much the same thing. As long as she does it for fun, then there's nothing to deal with. Now, if she uses it as a way to live her life, she will become an ex-girlfriend. If it's amused interest, no problem. If it guides her life, then I'm out. For as long as there have been humans, we've been categorizing ourselves and trying to work out what the hell is going on around here. Astrology is a fun way to do that, and I get why people who lived without electric lights would have seen the constellations every day and seen the planets dance around them, and the moon regal in the stars. No wonder we have stories about it. It's absolute nonsense, of course. So if it becomes a situation where she's making decisions on where you go and what you do because of what? Astrology in a newspaper. Where is she getting her info? If it's affecting her critical thinking, then maybe try and work out where she's getting this from, or what she's using it for. Might be a mental support structure for her if she lives in a religious place but doesn't believe. Lots to unpack. Probably the same way women deal with their crypto boyfriends. Oh no, Monopoly money line go down, is it? Because of Mercury retrograde. 999% of astrology girls aren't gonna shove it down your throat 24/7. They'll bring it up from time to time, but for the most part they're just normal people. I just let people enjoy things. As someone who's dated astrology girls, this comment is dead wrong. If it's like those mild belief, then no problem. We all have our passions and hobbies. But if like full on saying 2:53 PM is inauspicious, and we must not be in a moving vehicle facing northeast is whack. I accept that there is nothing supernatural or authentic about the premise. Then I consider the statements made for simple self-improvement lessons. I take what I like, and leave the rest. She realized I wasn't into it, and we didn't talk about. She was into tarot too, which I don't believe in, but I think is a useful tool in exploring what stands out or doesn't stand out in the description. Like tarot has so many meanings on each card, it becomes a way to sort out what you want or don't want that maybe we didn't think of, as long as it's not instead of other discussions and emotional exploration. I have an amazing tarot deck that teaches you about GLSL shaders at the same time. I use it mostly as a tool for introspection, like those conversation card games. Think back, quote, okay, death represents a shift or a big change. What's going on in my life that is evolving, or that I would like to transform? It's helped me as I'm usually anxious and can feel overwhelmed at times. Also, the deck looks rad. For this one I'll defer to my general principle of 1. Is it hurting anyone, including themselves, directly or indirectly? 2. Is it causing problems in some other material way? Them taking astrology very seriously and using it to make important life decisions would be a concern. If that consequently led to logic, reason, and common sense taking a backseat. Aside from that, if the answers to the above questions were no, and it made them happy, then I'd most likely be fine with it. I think people should be free to do what they want, as long as they're not harming others. However, I can't respect someone who lies and or is incapable of distinguishing reality from fairy tales. Start talking about Bitcoin. I've never had one. Astrology GF. Same, minus astrology part. Oof. I'm a woman who is kinda into astrology, and every man I've ever dated dealt with it, because I'm a Scorpio. That or my fat ass. We'll never know. There are girls who just do it for fun, and know that it's not some end all be all. I have girlfriends who will just say you're such a Leo lol, but it's not, like they will make actual decisions based on astrology. Depends on how into it she is. If it's just a little fun for her, whatever. If she makes big life choices based on it, not even as a friend. It would be like any interfaith couple. My wife is Christian. I'm Jewish. But neither one of us are so into that we care. Kids choosing their own path. So, tell her you don't really believe, politely, or break up if it's a deal breaker.